celebrate this year's seniors by directing your attention to the field. We want to celebrate all the time and commitment these athletes have given Sandpoint High School. I'm going to go ahead and start. Number 3, Blake Sherrill. Escorted by Sandra Sherrill, Rob Sherrill, and Shane. Next we have number 4, Merrick Bach. Escorted by Amy Bach, Jeremy Bach, Costas, and Jimmy. Next we have number 11, foreign exchange student Lasse Koo. Escorted by Nikki Kazanis, Chris Kazanis, Jacob Seth, Piper, and Finley. Next we have number 13, Garrett Cox. Escorted by Anna Butler, Jim Cox, Peyton, and Sharon Cox. This is number 15, Cody Steiger. He's escorted by Brandy, Glenn, Kristen, and Brooklyn. That was number 15, Cody Steiger. This is number 21, Luke McCorkle. Escorted by Carol McCorkle and Matt McCorkle. Number 21, Luke McCorkle. And now we have number 24, Nathan Robert. Escorted by Kelly, Brian, and Kayla. Number 24, Nathan Robert. Mike Chapman. That's scored by Heather, Adam, Kayla, Matthew, and Marissa. This is number 62, Mike Chapman. This is number 65, Nick Plago. That's scored by Brooke and Chuck. Number 65, Nick Plago. And now we have number 81, Will Hurst. That's scored by Holly, Jeff, and Hannah. This is number 81, Will Hurst. This is Jessica Mancuso. That's by Michelle and Craig. And again, Jessica Mancuso. This is Olivia Dyke. That's scored by Tracy, Nathan, and Colby. Olivia Dyke. This is Nina Adams. And for Uncle Henry, Tal, and Rowan, this is Nina Adams. This is Amanda Steiner. This is Amanda Steiner.
I love you, brother.
This is Madison Duke. That's scored by Emily and Mark. Madison Duke. This is Gustav Mushkinskite. Gustav Mushkinskite. And I'll take it one more time as we give thanks to all of our football, cheer, and dance seniors.
defense from last year. Now, it's up to them to put the points on the board. Now, I believe, hey, the defense gives up 20, 21 points. Hey,
we should win.
We feel pretty good about that defensive effort. The Bulldog offense need to be putting up more than 20, 21 points. So that's kind of the key. And I think, just kind of going into the year, that was kind of the idea. So, so far, hey, what are we 4-2?
4-2.
4-2. And, other than that, not getting out the bus in Homedale.
We've had good. Yeah, we played well. Yeah.
Yeah, we lose that last second field goal against Coeur d'Alene. We've really put some good things together, but this is a great Bulldogs football team. Hey, Chris, I just wanted to kind of mention something too. Is I know Ryan Moore.
Yes.
Ryan Moore is, he's been the score clock guy. Him and his dad for
a long
time, and I know he's struggling. He's over in Seattle now. Just the thoughts and prayers go out to him and his family.
Totally.
And hey, Ryan, get healthy, be strong, and hang in there, guy, because you're a good man. You're a Sandpoint Bulldog. You're a native, and hey, we're thinking of you.
No doubt about that. And our thoughts definitely with his family at this difficult time. Bulldogs being introduced. The Lakeland starters have already had their introductions on the field. And
Blake Sherrill is back.
Blake Sherrill is back, yeah. So he's in the starting lineup on defense out there. Also, notably in the starting lineup on defense for the Bulldogs, Garrett Cox. So the Bulldog defensive starters, now Luke McCorkle being introduced. And for the Bulldogs, so much on the line tonight. And, they know this. Both these teams, Jay, pretty much know. They're in the playoffs. But what a difference it is between being the number 1 seed out of this district and the number 2 seed, especially if you're the Bulldogs and you have that chance to be one of the top 2 seeds in the state.
Right now we're ranked number 2 in the state behind Pocatello. Pocatello's number 1. We're number 2. We have the toughest strength of schedule. So, with those 2 losses, we're still vaulted up. Homedale still, they beat Weezer, the 2 undefeated teams. They're still, that's helping us out with our strength of schedule. So, even with the loss tonight, we're not going to lose. But
no.
We'll probably drop. We drop, but we're still in the playoffs. We're going to go to state. It's just a matter if we're hosting at home or
that's right, and that's but that's a big difference. And having the ability to play here in the comfy confines of Barlow Stadium War Memorial Field, and normally on a night like tonight, we talk about it's been raining all day. The field, well, the field's in perfect shape.
Oh yeah,
ball's going to be wet. Might be a little slick from time to time because the rain continues to fall and is supposed to through the night. But footing shouldn't be an issue. The field conditions not going to be a problem, thanks to the largesse of the Sandpoint people.
Yeah, absolutely.
The people who live around here approving the field tax for Memorial Field all those years ago. So we are just about ready to get this off and rolling, and couldn't be more excited. So if you didn't have a chance to get out and venture out, or didn't want to come out into the cold, then stay back. Throw a log on the fire, listen to the game. We expect that to be a good one.
Yeah, what you're going to look for tonight, Chris, is I think there's some teams are starting to wanting to throw the ball against the Bulldogs a little more. From the beginning of the season now. I believe they feel like there's maybe some mismatches with the lack of pressure from our 3 up front guys, and then with the secondary, kind of an all new secondary there. We're also missing the only returner, Cody Steiger. He's not in the lineup tonight. He went down with an injury last night, and hopefully he gets better. But again, you're going to look for Devin Suko, the quarterback. They're going to probably want to throw the ball a little bit, and they got a speedy little running back in that John Cornish, who made some big plays a couple weeks ago against Moscow. They're coming off a bye. We all know how that works,
yes,
right?
Yes, we do. Yep.
You kind of get out of rhythm a little bit, and Lakeland looked pretty good against Moscow 2 weeks ago, but they had the idle week last week to kind of get healthy. But so look for Suko and the Hawks to maybe throw the ball a little bit more. Probably throw a few more wrinkles, maybe some 3 trips one way, and try to isolate Alden Waddington on his own to the opposite side, to the wide side of the field. So it should be interesting, and you got to keep John Cornish contained there on that running game.
Well, for the Bulldogs, obviously, you come into this game and you look at the schedule that we've played and the teams that we've faced, and Lakeland, hasn't played that quite same schedule, and when they have played some like opponents, hasn't fared as well. But none of that matters now. It's all out the window. Lakeland won the toss, deferred, so the Bulldogs will get the football first. They will head from left to right across your radio dial in their alternate gray uniforms with the red numerals. Lakeland in their all whites with the yellow helmets and green numerals. So we're just about ready to go. We've got Lane Dunkel and Luke McCorkle back deep to receive the kick that's coming here from Lakeland. And that kicker is going to be number 5, Owen Forsman.
Got a big foot too, Chris. He likes to drive this ball into the end zone. He's their punter, their kicker. He's got a great leg, just like our last coon.
So we could have a lot of touchbacks after touchdowns, is what you're saying tonight.
Yes.
So the wind actually is a little bit out of the south, but pretty negligible tonight. So wind not really a factor. And here we go. We've got it underway. The kick is up, and it's going to be taken down by McCorkle at about the 3-yard line. He comes right up the middle to the 20, slips through a couple tackles, heads to the outside. He's at the 30. He's at the 40. He's got one man to beat. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He cuts back across the grain and is going to be knocked down inside the 20. Luke McCorkle taking it from the 2 to the 18-yard line. What a great start for the Bulldogs.
Boy, good job. He kind of gets up to that left side on this near side hash mark, Chris, and all the Lakeland Hawks, no containment to the far side, and he makes the first guy miss and then just uses his speed, gets around the corner, finds the sideline, and boy, what a great return and a great start for this Bulldog football team.
So the Bulldogs will start at 1st and 10 at Lakeland, 17-yard line, and that is by far the biggest return of the year for the Bulldogs on kicks or punts. Here comes Sandpoint out. They've got Lascoon near side, 2 wides on the far side, and Garrett Cox standing right next to Parker Pettit. Man in motion, handoff right up the middle to Cox. Cox breaks a tackle, gets inside the 15. He's down to the 14. He's going to gain about 4. It's going to be 2nd and 6.
Yeah, a little motion there by Kuhn, who comes across that motion, but they're going to run it right off the right side behind Ben Stockton and Austin Smith. A great job. Nice little hole there for 3 yards on first play.
So Kuhn and for the Bulldogs, Cody Newhart on this side in the tight end position. There's a handoff again up the middle. Little bit of a miscommunication and no gain on the play. So it's going to be 3rd down as the handoff went to Cox up the middle.
Boy, nice little hole to the left side, Chris. It opened up by Carson Laybourne. Dorrell, he kicks it out. But, boy, just a bad exchange there. And, Cox is unable to get free and allows the guy from the backside to make a tackle for no gain on the play.
Yeah, actually, they put him back almost a yard. So 3rd and 7 coming up here inside the 15-yard line. Trips near side. Looks like Max Frank on the far side. Ari Vandenberg in the slot for the Bulldogs. Another handoff up the middle to Cox. He dives to the 7. Boy. That's going to be close to a 1st down. So they're going to say he hit at about the 8.5. It's going to be 4th and inches for the Bulldogs inside the 10-yard line.
Boy, yeah, he had touchdown right now, but he it looks like he just lost his footing. I don't think a Lakeland Hawk touched his foot, but he just kind of stumbles there. He's able to launch, dive forward, and get close to that 1st down.
Bulldogs go for the quarterback sneak, drive forward. Looks like they've got enough. Parker Pettit down to about the 6, maybe 7-yard line. Should be enough for the Bulldogs to have a 1st and goal. Nice drive forward by the offensive line.
Well, it wasn't much, but I think he got just what he needed, about a yard. He had about a half a yard to go. So, yeah, 1st down for the Bulldogs here.
So 1st and goal, Sandpoint. Sandpoint has it at the 7. Pettit with Cox right behind him. Bulldogs have had it on the ground each play so far. Trips to the far side. One receiver to the near side. Cox comes up, stands right next to Pettit. Fake the handoff. Pettit keeps it up the middle. Pettit's into the end zone. Busts through an arm tackle in the backfield. Bulldogs go up 6-0 early. Pettit straight up the gut for the touchdown.
Oh, yeah, we're sitting next to the Lakeland coaches. They're calling counter. They called the right counter, but they forgot to take the quarterback. And Pettit does a great job of reading it. They stunt that way, and boom, up the middle, off the right side behind Austin Smith and into the end zone for Pettit. Bulldogs off to a great start.
So Govin now for the extra point. Bulldogs jump out on their first possession. Of course, short field after the Luke McCorkle Kick return all the way down inside the 20-yard line. Snap is down. Kick is up. It's low, but it's through. Bulldogs lead at 7-0 early. We'll keep it here and say that this scoring update, the first score of the night, brought to you by 7B TV, your authorized dish retailer, locally owned and operated and ready to help you. A proud sponsor of Bulldog Sports, 7B TV.
Boy, the Bulldogs just the ground game, Chris, to start this drive. All set up by McCorkle's long run, and boy, what a good job up front right now for that offensive line. They're really, really controlling that line of scrimmage, and Bulldogs capitalize early.
So Sandpoint jumps out 7-0. Lakeland going to get its first shot here in a moment or two. Last Kuhn going to kick it away. Takes the tee out, takes it to the 40-yard line. Back deep to receive, number 11, Lucas Williams. Lone safety all the way back, Williams, interestingly.
Yeah, they even have 9.
They got a lot. They got 9 guys up 30 yards from the 30 to the 50.
Well, that's a lot of ground for him to cover here.
It's a lot of ground for him to cover. So Kuhn lines up on the near side hash mark, and Williams standing as well at about the 8-yard line, which isn't deep enough. Kuhn gets the signal, gets his foot into it. Kick comes, it sails into the end zone, almost out the back on the fly. So at the 20, that's where Devin Suko and the Lakeland offense will start with it. Jay, when Lakeland has the ball now, what are we going to see?
Hey, you're gonna see him line up. Again, John Cornish. The game plan what they're coming in with, I'm not quite sure. Against Moscow, they were able to really control that line of scrimmage. John Cornish had a big night on the ground. He was able to find a lot of running room, and he's an elusive, fast back. So you're probably going to see them try to spread us out, look for some mismatches on the outside with their receivers. And then look for John Cornish here to run outside, try to get him in some space.
Yeah, Cornish is the junior running back, and he's not the tallest guy out there. Back to pass on first down. It's thrown into the seam. It's caught for a first down all the way across the 35 to the 36. Just a slant route for Richie Thomas on the far side and an easy completion for a first down.
Yeah, again, spread out all by himself on the island there against McCorkle, and just an easy, it's just wide open. And McCorkle's giving him, quite a few yards there, and just an easy slant pattern, a big play there on first down for the Hawks.
So here's a handoff to Cornish trying to get to the near side and the outside. Bulldogs string it out pretty well, but then Cornish gets around the corner and is going to be knocked down at about the 44. That's going to be a gain of 7. It'll be 2nd and 3.
Yeah, again, just a nice little stretch play there for the Hawks. Is again, Cornish is able to get out to the edge. Looks like a little bit of holding there on our outside linebacker for the Bulldogs, but he was just unable to get out of that block and allowed Cornish to get to the corner and pick up 7 yards on that play.
One thing Lakeland does have is some pretty stout-looking offensive line guys. Their tackles are big, big gentlemen. So Lakeland comes out, 1 receiver way to the right, 2 near side. Cornish in the backfield along with Suko. Suko sends his tight end from one side to the other. And they hand it off up the middle. Cornish breaks a tackle. He's got a first down. He's across the 45 out to the 49. So another first down for Lakeland, and they are on the move on their first possession.
Yeah, simple dive play off to the right side, and he does a good job of just finding that crease and picks up 5 yards and a first down for Lakeland.
So Hawks now send 4 wides out to the far side in a bunch. 1 receiver to the near side. That would be number 88, Alden Walkington, and the quarterback keeps it, goes up the middle, and doesn't get much. Maybe 1 or 2 cross midfield. They'll give him.
Boy, they gave him a pretty good spot.
They gave him a great spot all the way to the 47.
Well, yeah, just a simple quarterback keep. That time spread everybody out, make you think you're going to pass the ball, and then snap it right to the quarterback, and he just takes off and picks up about 3 yards there on that first down play.
Yeah, Wyland Durrell, who just checked into the game on that play there to snuff it out for the short gain. 2nd and 7 for Lakeland. Hand off to Cornish. Cornish into the middle, and he loses a yard.
Maybe 2, yeah. Boy, good job. The Bulldogs, little more guys up front there. Looks like they have a five men down there as again expecting the Hawks to run the football, and that time the Bulldogs snuff it out, throwing back for a 1 yard loss.
Yeah, Levi Ballison just crushed right into the middle and took the running back down for a loss on the play. So 3rd and 8 for Lakeland. 3 wides, 1 back. Suko looking under pressure, tries to run. Now he throws it. He's got a man, but it's out of bounds. Good job by the Bulldogs. Coming in on the blitz that time, Lane Dunkel chasing Suko down. So a couple of first downs and now a punting situation. So the Bulldog defense able to hold.
Yeah, able to hold again. That time bringing some pressure. Great job by Dunkel. He forces Suko out. You get him running, his accuracy kind of starts to wait a little bit. That ball thrown way wide of his intended receiver, Waddington.
So it looks like Waddington's going to do the punting on this one. Or is that 85?
That's Waddington.
85. Okay, that's what I thought. And, of course, Garrett Cox back standing at about his 12 to receive this punt. High snap. Kick is away. It's a good high kick. It's going to be taken by Cox at the 12. He breaks a tackle. He heads up the sideline. He's knocked out of bounds at the 22. There's a flag all the way back. Maybe a face mask.
No, it's a little block in the back.
Was there a block in the back after Cox went by?
Yes.
Oh. I was going to say, the flag was thrown late, and Cox was already gone. So, ill-advised block there for the Bulldogs. That's going to send him back inside the 10-yard line, half the distance. Yeah, it should be 1st and 10 at the 6. So the Bulldogs block in the back, going to cost them about 14 yards of field position.
Boy, Cox took a hit on that sideline there as he's able to get up the sideline. Boy, number 24 for the Hawks. He comes in there with his shoulder pads, Skylar Huber, and boy, it was a collision. You don't see Cox lose those matches, but
No.
He went sideways, and they both, Cox is all right, but man, they both got up a little quiet, a little slowly.
So the Bulldogs leading at 7-0 have the ball at the 6-yard line. They spread him out with 3 wides. Hand off to Garrett Cox. Cox drives and gets nothing. He gets actually taken down at the 5. He's going to lose a yard. So it's going to be 2nd and long for the Bulldogs. The whole defensive line just collapsed the Bulldog offensive linemen.
Yeah, boy, they sent a couple linebackers, too, up the middle, read and run the whole way up the middle, and, boy, they close down every gap and throw Cox for a 1-yard loss here. Bulldogs 2nd and 11, but they're back in the end zone.
Pettit. Now Cox stands to his left. 3 wides out on the far side. 2nd and long. First pass of the night for the Bulldogs. Pettit now has to run, and he's looking for a block. He gets one. He's got a first down and more. He's at the 20. He's at the 30. He's out to the 35. What a great block by Garrett Cox. He saw his quarterback was going to run. The defender turned around, and he just basically stood in his way. Didn't hit him, didn't do anything, and it opened that up for about a 30-yard gain.
Boy, great job right there. It looked like Pettit's looking to this right side to Frank, and he was pretty well covered. But, again, no containment to the left side. Pettit does a great job of keeping the ball and big gain on the play. There's an offsides there, too.
Yep. Lakeland jumps off sides, looks like. Yep, into the neutral zone. So it'll be 1st and 5 for the Bulldogs out to the 40. 5:53 left here, first quarter. Bulldogs leaving at 7-0. This scoring update brought to you by Jalapenos Mexican Restaurant. Jalapenos, for the finest Mexican food on 2nd Avenue in Sandpoint, now with a convenient pickup window.
Yeah, the Bulldogs without a pass attempt right so far. And, boy, what a great job there to get out of the back of the end zone there, Chris.
Yeah, this drive pretty much already a success as Pettit rolls, looks, goes deep. He's got a man out there trying to get it down. It's through the arms of Kuhn, who is busy fighting with the defender, Thomas Calder, who is running with him step for step. It's 2nd down and 5.
Boy, going for the long bomb there. Boy, Pettit really airmailed that one out, threw it from about the 30-yard line, Chris, and boy, that ball landed about the 10. That shows just how strong of an arm Pettit has there. But boy, pretty well covered there by the Lakeland Hawk defender.
Yeah, the ball was right where it needed to be, but the Hawk was right in Kuhn's lap and a real tough catch. So 2nd and 5. Pettit claps, They all look to the sideline. This time, Lakeland does not jump offside. They shift and strengthen up the near side, the wide side of the field. And Pettit drops and looks. He's got a man. It's caught.
Vandenberg.
Ari Vandenberg makes the catch for a first down across the 45 to the 46. So a nice gain there on second down. The Bulldogs move the chains again.
Boy, a quick little hitch pattern there for just 6 yards, and Vandenberg turns around. He gets a little space there, and a well-thrown ball there by Pettit, and the first down. The Bulldogs moving the chain.
Yeah, Lakeland looks like they're just settled back in the zone. They've got 4 guys across the 45-yard line, about 10 yards. Now the Bulldogs shift into their tight formation. Lakeland has everybody in the middle as well, and that, looks like a rugby scrum that goes nowhere.
Yeah, boy, not fooled on that play. And again, Chris, we've talked about this for the last few weeks. It's a kind of nice little gimmick. They had a little bit of success, for the first time last week against Moscow with Garrett Cox, but the Hawks not fooled here as they load the box. They bring everybody inside and nowhere for Cox to find any room, and he's lucky to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, there were 22 guys on the field, and 19 of them were in the box. So 2nd and 10. Pettit, hands off on the delay. Cox changes directions, drives, gets back to the line of scrimmage. Hawks do a nice job on that play of closing down all the avenues for Cox.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, just these signals coming in, and that time just that left side or the right side of the offensive line, Alden Smith and Mike Chapman just unable to, just too many guys from the block, nowhere for Cox to run. He's able to get it back inside and get back to the line of scrimmage. So the Bulldogs here in a tough 3rd and 10.
So 3rd and 10, it's Vandenberg, Kuhn, and Newhart on the near side. Max Frank on the far side in the receiving positions. Back to pass. It's caught, and it's going to be another first down. Nice little seam pass there to the 39-yard line. Gain of about 15, and the catch for the Bulldogs, Cody Newhart.
Boy, nice job of pass protection. First of all, Pettit's able to step back there and wait for his receiver to work, and Newhart does a great job. Just kind of settles in that little open area. He kind of sits there about 10 yards and able to catch the ball and then pick up a couple extra yards after the catch.
Yeah, and I think one of the things Garrett Cox probably doesn't get enough credit for is his ability to pick up that extra guy who's rushing, because he did a perfect job of it on that play.
He did. Yep. Cox has been everything for these Bulldogs, man. He does it on, running the football, catching the football, and then on the defensive side of the ball.
Here's a handoff to Cox. He runs over a man. He's at the 30. He blows up another guy, and finally he's taken down at the 32. That's going to be a gain of 7 on first down. And I'm not sure who the poor Hawk was who first tried to contact him, but he tried to go low. Cox went lower and knocked him backwards.
What he did just stopped him right there. He was able to slow Cox down, but then another guy took a shot at him, and he ran him over too, Chris. A great run there by Garrett Cox on first down. He picks up 7, and the Bulldogs here deep into the Lakeland Hawk territory.
They're at the Hawk 32-yard line. Pettit, hand off to Cox, has a hole. He's got the first down. He's inside the 30 down. I think they're going to give him, they're going to mark him just short, I guess. So not the same generous spot at the other side.
Yeah, he need to kind of get to that 29-yard line, Chris, and looks like they're going to call him just over the 30-yard line. Looks like he's pretty close to that 31-yard line. It's he's going to be a couple feet here short on 3rd down.
So 3rd down and a short 1 for the Bulldogs. Hawks loading up the box, expecting the run again. It might be time for a play-action pass and a shot here on 3rd and very, very short with as many guys, and the Bulldogs want timeout. They'll call it. We will as well with 1:57 left in the first quarter, and we'll be back with more Bulldog football here on North Idaho's Radio and Rock 103. And we are back at Barlow Stadium or Memorial Field. Bulldogs ready to go here on 3rd and short. Looking to increase their 7-0 lead. Pettit takes the snap, fakes the handoff, goes up the middle. He's got a first down. He's at the 25. He's still on his feet, and he's going to sort of crawl forward to the 24-yard line. So a nice little 6-yard gain there for the Bulldogs and another first down.
Yeah, nice job right there. Just that play action. He fakes it to the left, able to keep it to the right behind Smith and Chapman. And, boy, Pettit, you talk about how hard Cox is to bring down. Boy, Pettit just as tough. And great job of running the football there by Parker Pettit.
So 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs now inside the 25-yard line. Newhart in motion. Fake handoff. Pettit stutter steps, loses a guy. He's at the 20. He's at the 10, and he's going to be knocked down, at the 15. So knocked down, they'll put him right at the 15. So on a first down carry, he gets 9. It'll be 2nd and 1.
Yeah, you can see the Lakeland Hawks really keying in on Garrett Cox. This is going to open up a lot of runs here for Parker Pettit tonight. Again, fakes the handoff to Cox. Everybody goes that way. He's able to find a nice little run out to the outside. Great job blocking by Durrell on that left side. He allows him to get downfield, and then Vandenberg also down there blocking downfield to help Parker get 9 yards on that run.
So the Bulldogs now, as the clock winds under a minute in this first half, there's a pass thrown into the end zone. It is caught. It is they say it was out of bounds.
Well, that was Frank. That's a great catch.
That was a great catch. Good throw and a great catch by Max Frank. But they say he was on the sideline when he caught it.
Boy.
I think we need a replay on that one.
That was close. And, the Bulldogs, you get Newhart back, Chris, and it really, now you've got, 3-4 guys out here that can really make some plays one-on-one. And a pretty well-thrown ball there by Parker Pettit. Just Frank just unable to get that 1 foot in bounds.
So 3rd down now and 1 for the Bulldogs with 33 seconds left. Hand off to Garrett Cox. He stutter steps twice and drives forward. Might be good enough for the first down.
He's going to get it, yeah.
It's at about the 14-yard line. Let's see where they mark it. Ooh, that is going to be close. They're going to give it to him as the clock winds towards the end of the first quarter.
This will be it here. Bulldogs will.
Yeah, the Bulldogs will let the quarter expire. They lead at 7-0, but they're knocking on the door looking for more. Second quarter of action is coming up next here on North Idaho's radio and Rock 103.
Start second quarter. Yeah. Well, good job, Alex. Kind of fun, huh? Normally you have that up on a phone and someone's doing all the stats at the same time because you get pictures of the players pop up with their stats, like Garrett Cox is 4 minutes and yards this evening. It will do all that. I have it on minimum only. Huh? I have it on the minimum only. And you can have it set up to do all that stuff.
You should have a state. If you go to state, we should
See guys playing both ways here for the Hawks, and as the Bulldogs offense stays on the field, these guys, you're going to see that maybe later in the third and fourth quarter where the Bulldogs wear down this defense.
So 1st and 10. Pettit hands it to Cox. Cox slips a tackle in the backfield. Might get back to the line of scrimmage and gain a yard, but not much right up the middle. And so far, Lakeland's defense in the middle of the field has been pretty good.
Pretty good, yeah, and they're getting some pressure there. I didn't see the number there, but so far on these runs with Cox up the middle, they've been able to get a guy get off the block and really make Cox hesitate before he's actually getting to run downhill, Chris. And it's really I think Cox had a great opportunity there to bust it out to the right side, but he was too worried about the defender in the backfield.
So Pettit now back to pass, looking, throwing it into the end zone. It is incomplete through the hands of the intended receiver. I think he was going for Kuhn again out there in the corner.
Yeah, Kuhn's been getting a lot more looks here those last couple of weeks, and he dropped one last week that would have been a sure touchdown, and then he ended up catching one on that same play. But that one there was a catchable ball. That was pretty well thrown there. Kuhn's got to go up there and grab that.
So 3rd down now and 9 for the Bulldogs inside the 15-yard line. Pettit looking, throwing. He's got a man. It's caught. Oh, he dropped it. Was that Frank? Max Frank had it in the end zone. I don't know what happened. He started to celebrate, so it's going to be 4th down. The Bulldogs will try it for a field goal.
Boy, yeah, again, a lot of time to throw, but that's a touchdown. Frank's got to catch that ball. Gosh, dang, that's a perfectly thrown ball, and he's got to reel that in. That hit him right between the numbers, Chris, and that's a huge break for the Hawks.
Yeah, that's at least a 4-point drop for Frank on this possession. Kick is up, and it is good. So the Bulldogs go up 10-0 on the field goal from Gove, and Sandpoint leads at 10-0 with 11 minutes and 9 seconds remaining in this first half of play. This scoring update here on North Idaho's Radio and Rock 103 brought to you by Sun Rental. Proudly supporting the Bulldogs since 1979. They rent everything under the sun, Sun Rental. Of course, if you're looking for more football, you can find it tomorrow. Hopefully the Vandals will actually play some this week.
What was that?
Hopefully the Vandals will actually play some football
this week. Eastern Washington really just gave them a trouncing. And that quarterback for Eastern Washington, he's pretty special. He's been a 4-year starter, and boy, they really put it to the Vandals. And I don't know how you recover from a 71-20 trouncing like that.
I don't know. And it's not like it gets a ton easier because Montana's no pushover.
Yeah, well, Petrino said it called it a rivalry game. And I think that kind of fired up the Eastern Washington Eagles if that's a rivalry game, boy, they didn't show up for it. It was bad.
You know what? The fact that Eastern Washington, that Idaho considers that a rivalry game, says a lot about the state of the Idaho Vandal football program compared to where it was some years ago.
Yeah, you go back into the 90s and 80s. The Vandals wouldn't even think about Eastern Washington now. It's those roles have definitely reversed.
Yeah, and another kickoff that lands on the end line, bounces over the uprights, and Lakeland has to start on the 20 again.
That's what you want. Make them go the length of the field. Don't give up any big plays on the return game. This is why you like the big leg of Kuhn right now, Chris, is just put the ball in the end zone, let the defense make those guys go the distance.
So Lakeland with their second possession of the game, and we are just into the second quarter. So the offense should be plenty rested for Lakeland as they wander onto the field behind Devin Suko, their quarterback, and the running back John Cornish. Those two line up in the backfield right next to each other. 3 wides and a tight end on the far side. Send a man in motion. Hand it off to that guy in motion. He works to the outside and tries to cut it back against the grain and gets nothing. Bulldogs had that very well defensed.
Boy, yeah, just I'm kind of behind the pole there, Chris. I didn't see it, but boy, a big hit there put on by one of the Bulldogs, and he was able to kind of escape it and get back out, but he doesn't go anywhere. And in fact, he's lucky to get back to that line of scrimmage.
So 2nd and 10 now for the Hawks. Suko rubs his hands. Of course, it continues to rain here at Barlow Stadium War Memorial Field, as predicted. They throw the pass out, and this goes nowhere.
That Barlow?
That was Barlow. Kobe Barlow, as they're trying to run, I believe, Cornish out to block for the receiver out there. They throw that pass sideways to the receiver, and Barlow just says, forget the block, It's a completed pass for a loss of 1.
You know, again, these are the babies. You know, Kobe hasn't played a whole lot of football. You know, he just started playing here his sophomore year, Chris. But boy, he does a great job of reading that early, and again gets upfield before the block gets over to him, and he makes a nice tackle.
So 3rd and long for Lakeland. Bulldog crowd trying to make some noise. Back to pass, stop and go route. It is incomplete and almost intercepted, and there's a flag. Should be offensive pass interference, as McCorkle had that one covered up, and he was being grabbed from behind by Richie Thomas.
Absolutely. That should be offensive pass interference. Great position there for McCorkle. That should be a 4th down, force the Lakeland Hawks to punt the ball here. As again, that.
What? They're calling it on the Bulldogs? That is that is terrible. That is great coverage by Luke McCorkle. Wow.
Come on. You got to get that guy off the
break.
Get him off the field. That is the worst call I've seen in the history of goddamn football, Chris. That is just horrible.
McCorkle had perfect position, and there was a receiver trying to pull him down from behind. Wow.
That is horrible. That is just horrible. Unbelievable. That is just terrible.
I think the Bulldogs go out timeout just so Coach Knowles can get out there and yell at the officials a little bit. That's wow. That is one of
my Lord.
I mean, you know.
Knowles was out on the field turning down the penalty.
Oh,
that's
my
declining
gosh.
that. Yeah,
that's wow. Right now the back judge is talking to Scotty Albertson, who coaches those defensive backs, and Albertson obviously isn't buying the explanation. Wow. I mean, I've seen some plays that are pretty badly called, but that was.
Yeah, you just can't make that call. That's just horrible. You know, you're bailing out on the Lakeland offense is struggling to move the football, and they're going to throw one up for grabs, and the defense is in great position, and you're going to bail them out. That's horrible. That is just horrible.
So after all that, it's 1st and 10 for Lakeland. They get a first down by penalty. And Suko now getting ready for the snap. He's going to fake the handoff. He's running the option. He gets into the middle. He's got a first down and more. And it's all the way out to the 50-yard line. So a gain on the play of 15.
Wow. Boy, it gives the Lakeland Hawks some life here. Boy, nice little job that time by Suko, who fakes that run handoff over to Cornish, and he keeps it off that left side, gets some good blocking. And he picks up a big gain here for the Hawks.
Yeah, Bulldogs really did a bad job there keeping their assignments as Suko this time hands it off to Cornish off the far side. He bounces off a lineman. Then the Bulldogs knock him down. He gets 1. So 2nd and 9 coming up for the Hawks.
Yeah, good job that time. The Bulldogs just on that outside. I didn't get to catch number. It's too far for me to see, but do a good job of stringing it out. And then the linebacker, I believe it maybe Wimmer, and on that tackle to stop.
Yeah, I think it was Hughes over there on the far side. Came from the inside and really got that one. So here we go. Trips near side. 1 receiver to the far side for Lakeland. Hawks staring at the sideline. Now ready to run the play on 2nd and long. They throw the screen pass on the far side to Waddington. Waddington's not going to get much. He's going to get maybe 2 or 3 before he's knocked out of bounds. So another 3rd down.
Yeah, 3rd down and about 6 here, Chris, is again just a quick little hitter out to that left side, and he's able to pick up a few yards. But the Bulldogs, again, it's a nice little spot here for this defense, 3rd and 5. You know, Hawks in their territory. Could be 2 down territory, but look for the Bulldogs maybe to bring some pressure.
So 3rd and 5. 3 wides near side, 1 far side. Cornish and Suko in the backfield. Big 3rd down for the Bulldogs. There's a handoff to Suko. He's not going to get the first down, but it's going to be 4th and 2, and I would only imagine that Lakeland would be going for it here on the plus side of the field.
You know, one thing about this Bulldog defense on these 4th downs, they've been able to get off the field. Teams have not had a lot of success picking up these 4th down plays against this Bulldog defense. We'll see what Brian Knowles draws up here.
So 4th down and 2. Lakeland needs to get to the 40. If there are football gods, the Bulldogs will get the stop. Ball's down, loose. Bulldogs get it.
That's exactly what's happened.
Just like last week, the snap is a miss from the quarterback on fourth down, and it all evens out in the end, I guess.
Boy, Joseph Hughes on that recovery again. The Bulldogs, looks like the quarterback wasn't really ready for the snap as it came low, and just that Lakeland offense just not on the same page. And, boy, the Bulldogs really had that they were bringing some pressure, and I don't think that play was going to go anywhere anyways, but, boy, a good job there, the Bulldogs creating that turnover.
So the Bulldogs turn Lakeland over on downs, and the offense is back on the field. They start at their own 48 with 7:13 left in this
got
first
one
half
uncovered.
of play.
There's only 3 receivers, and you got one uncovered.
Bulldogs looking to throw the screen, but there's nobody there to throw it to, as Cox couldn't get through the wash, and it'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, Thielbar's got to see that. He had 3 receivers to this left side, Chris, and only two defenders out there. That's a great opportunity for a quick little screen, and you got your blockers out in front.
So 2nd and 10. Everyone looking to the side. Bulldogs leading at 10-0 here. And this scoring update brought to you by Interstate Concrete, a proud sponsor of Bulldog football for more than 30 years. So 2nd down. Pettit back, looking, throwing, has a man. It's Vandenberg. He's got the catch. He's out of bounds. They'll mark him out at the 45-yard line.
Oh, boy, it looked like he was up near the 44.
I concur with your assessment. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, it's just straight in front of me here, Chris. But, boy, good job right there. Good pass by Pettit to the outside and a good catch by Vandenberg.
Yeah, 3rd and short, 3rd and 3 for the Bulldogs. Handoff up the middle to Cox. He's going to be dragged down short of the first down. It's going to be 4th and about a foot with the ball at the 42, and that's why the spot on the last play is so key, because that would have been a first down if it was 4th and 2, not 4th and 3. Or 3rd and 2, excuse me. So 4th down, Bulldogs need less than 1. Going for it at the 42-yard line, as you'd expect. 6:42 left first half. Bulldogs have dominated the half, but lead it only 10-0. Now we've got a timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. 6:35 left. Bulldogs facing 4th and short. We'll hear it when we come back to North Idaho's Radio and Rock 103.
Insured by NCUA.
All right, here we go. 4th and a foot. Bulldogs. Are they going to run the sneak again? Look like they're trying to draw Lakeland off sides. They can't do it. Bulldogs call another timeout.
Wow, that's their last one here in the half.
So the Bulldogs are out of timeouts.
Interesting. Thielbar obviously didn't like what he saw there. I'd like to see them run the clock a little bit more before they take that timeout on that last, when the clock was running. The clock was running, but I'd like to see them maybe call that timeout, run off another 15, 20 seconds. But let's see. It's, the Bulldogs have been pretty successful here on these 4th down and short situations. And, hopefully they can get this first down and keep the.
Well, unlike some of the other teams we faced on 4th down who have been sending their quarterbacks for shotgun snaps, essentially, the Bulldogs have been running Pettit right up under center. And now this time they'll send him into the backfield, just as I say that. And you start with the football 6-7 yards deep. I like it when they get right up under center. So 4th and short, Bulldogs in their standard formation. Pettit's going to drive for the first down. He's got it more. He's at the 30. Pettit's gone. This is 6 for Sandpoint. Bulldogs lead it 16-0. On 4th and short, Pettit finds the seam and takes it for 42.
Boy, good job. You know, you got Cox lined up to the right side. You're running behind Austin Smith and Chapman, and Cox kind of leads the way. He gets a nice kick-out block. Vandenberg gets the guy in the middle, and that just opens everything up, and it's into the end zone. Great call there by Coach Thielbar, and a great effort there by the whole Bulldog football offensive line and the quarterback.
So the Bulldogs have had the ball 3 times. They've got 2 touchdowns and a field goal, and should have had a touchdown in that other possession. But anyways, it's 17-0 Sandpoint. 6:25 remaining in the first half. We'll be back with the ensuing kickoff after this on North Idaho's radio and Rock 103. All right, here comes the kick as Kuhn once again blasts it into the end zone. Bulldogs up 17-0 middle of this first half.
Boy, Pettit, 7 carries, 97 yards, 2 touchdown runs. He would have a touchdown pass. Frank dropped the one in the end zone that forces to kick the field goal. But boy, Pettit's really showing off his stuff tonight, Chris, here in the first half.
Yeah, some of the other scores around 4A scores around the state right now. Skyline's over Shelley 14-6. Bishop Kelly's beating Ridgeview 18-0. Sugar Salem's in the lead. Twin Falls and Minico locked in a battle. The rest of them so far no scores.
Boy, the Hawks just really struggling running the football, Chris, and the only success has been a couple pass plays. But I believe the coach is hoping this offense can maybe get rolling against this Bulldog defense.
They throw. There's a roll. The big run up the middle, and this one it could go all the way. Down the sideline, 30, 20, 10, 5, touchdown. 80-yard scamper up the right side. Wow.
Off that left side, Chris.
Yeah,
boy,
left. Yeah, thank you.
Boy, big hole opened
John
up and just
Cornish.
a big void left out there as linebackers don't cover. And then, boy, poor pursuit angle there by the safety for the Bulldogs is, he just doesn't take it deep enough. And Cornish's speed just outruns him to the sideline. And, boy, that's a big play there for the Sox here. 6 minutes left in the second.
Boy, before that run, Lakeland had probably about 10 yards of rushing or something to that effect. Pretty close. Not many, but they strike quickly. One play, and just like that, it's 17-6.
Boy, yeah, you just cannot take a play off, Chris. That kid's very fast. He's quick. And, boy, the Bulldogs just didn't seem like they were engaged on that first play.
Extra point is up. It is good as well. So 17-7 the score. And this scoring update brought to you by Northwest Auto Body and Towing. 2 locations to serve you, Sandpoint and Pend Oreille since 1976, providing quality repairs throughout North Idaho. Columbia Bank halftime show coming up in 6 minutes and 6 seconds of game time. We'll have the Jalapeno stat page. Bob will talk with the photographer du jour, Jason Duco, as part of our halftime festivities.
Boy, he does a great job of just capturing moments of these kids. It's absolutely amazing. Every sport, everywhere you can go on, and you can find a picture of your son or daughter. Mm-hmm. He is out there doing his job, and he's great at it.
So the Bulldogs will get the kickoff here for the first time since the start of the game, and Luke McCorkle taking it nearly to the house. So the Bulldogs leading at 17-7. Lakeland with their first burst of life. Of course, the Bulldog offense can do something about that by taking about 6 minutes and 3 seconds to score a touchdown.
Yeah, right now,
heading into the halftime.
Lakeland hasn't been able to really stop the Bulldog offense. The Bulldogs, going 95 yards, settle for a field goal on their second drive, and this last one, getting the ball at their own 47, able to punch it in. So the Bulldogs hopefully again sustain another drive, move the chains a little bit, run this clock out, and go into halftime with a big lead.
McCorkle, Dunkel back deep to receive this kick. It's going to be taken by Dunkel at about the 7-yard line. Dunkel comes to the near side looking for a seam. Gets to the outside. He's at the 30. He's going to be knocked down right about there. So 30 yards at the 30. The Bulldogs will take over 1st and 10. Offense back on the field for Sandpoint.
Boy, great job right there by Dunkel, just working his way all the way across the field. Gets kind of in that wedge and tracked down, but a nice return there for the Bulldogs and Dunkel.
Yep, starting at the 30, Bulldogs come out. On the far side receiving, it's Kuhn. Out wide, fake, and it is a handoff up the middle to Cox, who cuts it back against the grain, gets about 3. Newhart out wide on that last play. On the near side, still in the same formation for the Bulldogs, they've got Vandenberg and Frank. So the standard 4 wides, and it's a 2nd down.
Yeah, boy, just a big play right there for Cox if he's able to make that first guy miss.
Pettit back, looking, throwing. He's got Frank who catches it and going to step out of bounds at about the 37-yard line, 38. So it's going to be 3rd down and 2 for the Bulldogs. And big 3rd down for the offense to keep the momentum and keep the football here as this first half winds towards its conclusion.
Well, yeah, move the chains, Chris. Don't go for the big run hitter. Just move the chains, contain this, keep the possession, and keep marching on.
Pettit with it. Back to pass, looking. Now he's going to run, try and get to that 1st down. He's at the 40. He's hammered out of bounds. And they're going to, let's see where they mark it.
Right at the 40, it looks like.
If they give him the 40, that should be enough. And it is. It's going to be a 1st down for the Bulldogs. Just enough.
Boy, he took a nice little hit there, too.
Yes, he did.
As speedy as he is, that Lakeland Hawk defender really tracked him down there near that sideline.
So the Bulldogs get just enough to keep this drive alive. Clock stopped on the out of bounds with 5:17 remaining in the first half of play. Signal sent in. Bulldogs ready. Cox standing right behind Parker Pettit. Handoff to Cox. Cox drives forward, but not for much, maybe 1.
Yeah, just really no second-level blocking there as the linebackers are just kind of staying still. They're reading, and nobody's getting on him. And Cox, after he gets through that initial line of scrimmage, there's really nowhere for him to run. Good job there by that defense for the Hawks.
Boy, it looks like Lakeland pretty much is trying to say we are not going to succumb to Garrett Cox today. You're going to have to figure out a way to move the football in other fashions. So 2nd and 9 for the Bulldogs. Pettit's been off to a good start. He's back to pass. He's looking. He's throwing. He's got a man open, but the pass well over the head of the intended receiver. Newhart was open, but the pass was far too far out in front of him.
Yeah, boy, he was running that seam pattern. That ball's kind of throwing maybe more on him. That could have been a big play for the Bulldogs. Yeah, Cox is 12 rushes, 29 yards here to start this game. So you're used to seeing him get 7-8 yards, but the Hawks really locking down here early in this half.
So 3rd down and 9. Bulldogs need to get it right to midfield for the 1st down. At their own 41. Pettit looking. Now he's going to run. He's got room. He's got a 1st down. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. He dives forward, and the Hawks have no answer for Parker Pettit. That time looking to throw, Jay, saw a big gap and just took it.
Boy, yeah, he had some receivers open, Chris, but again, they're out there protecting that 10-yard line marker on the pass plays, and nobody picks up Parker Pettit, and he just sees it open up, and huge hole off to the right side, a big gain, another Bulldog 1st down. Smart play there by Parker Pettit.
21-yard carry on 3rd and 9. The Bulldogs keep possession. Pettit,
no.
ball through his hands on the snap. Pettit picks it up, looking, and he should have thrown it away. Didn't. Takes the sack all the way back to the 45-yard line. Pettit did a great job of picking it up. Probably should have just unloaded it somewhere.
Yeah, just throw it out of bounds. He's outside the pocket there. Just kind of throw it in the direction of a Bulldog receiver. But boy, that's a big miscue there for the Bulldogs. They're going to be put down here in second down and 23 it looks like.
Yeah, the ball's back
25.
to the 47-yard line. They have to get to the 28 for a first down.
Now you're going to look for him to maybe go to Newhart, who has probably single coverage here to this near side.
Pettit runs the option, keeps it, makes a nice gain out of it. It's going to get back across midfield and to the 44-yard line. Bulldogs are out of timeouts. So it's going to be a third down now and about 16.
Well, yeah, just trying to run that option here to that side. And Pettit does a great job of just faking and is able to find a nice seam up the middle. But the Bulldogs, probably 2 down territory here with just under 3 minutes to go.
So Pettit takes a snap, drops, looks, goes across the middle. He's got a man. It's Cody Newhart, and it's a first down at the 20-yard line. That time right across the middle from the slot. Newhart had inside position. The throw was right on target, and it's another Bulldog first down.
Yeah, trips right there. Vandenberg on the inside, Cody Newhart in the middle there, and Frank's going to run his man down the sideline, and then 2 slants there for Vandenberg, and then Vandenberg pulls the safety away, and it just opens that all up for Cody Newhart, and a great throw by Parker Pettit.
Pettit back to pass, throwing. It's a screen play on the far side to Frank. Frank gets down inside the 15, down to about the 14-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 5. It's going to be 2nd and 5. Looked like somebody from the Hawks was offsides, but it didn't. He must have just timed it perfectly.
Boy, yeah, it looked like he was offsides, Chris. And but the Bulldogs, to get 6 yards on a nice little screen play there by Frank.
Clock running now inside 1:30. Bulldogs waiting the signal.
Taking their time.
They are taking their time. Pettit on first down. Hands it off to Cox. Cox cuts it back. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. He's driving to the end zone. He is in for the touchdown. Rolling over the back of a Hawk to get there. Sandpoint takes it 23-7 with 1:08 left in the first half and reestablishes their now 3-score advantage.
Boy, you just got to love that this time. The linebackers kind of bail out, allow Cox to get through that line of scrimmage, and he's able to cut it across it. And he's just too quick and shifting. He's able to get to that second level and nobody around him until he gets about the 3 or 4 yard line, and he does the rest and gets in the end zone.
Snap is good. Kick is up. It is good as well. Bulldogs lead at 24-7 as we near your Columbia Bank halftime show. And this scoring update brought to you by Sun Rental Center. Proudly supporting the Bulldogs since 1979. They ran everything under the sun.
Boy, yeah, I think, Coach Knowles and Coach Theobar got to be pretty excited how this offense is responding to that quick 80-yard touchdown run to Lakeland, able to really sustain another drive, Chris, keep the chains moving, controlling the time of possession. Boy, this is what we're talking about. This is the best start for the Sandpoint offense we've seen all year.
Yeah, 24 in the first half, and they were able to overcome 2nd and 23.
Yeah.
And 3rd down and 16 in that drive. So the Bulldogs really did a great job there offensively. Now the job is to keep Lakeland out of the end zone in this last 1:08 seconds.
Yeah,
Not give Lakeland that chance to get 2 possessions in a row.
Yeah, Lakeland's going to have their full stable timeouts, 3 timeouts here with this just over a minute to go. 2 timeouts, you used 1.
So Kuhn getting set to kick it away. This one's going to be high, and I'm not sure it's going to make it to the end zone. Barely. Well, I really didn't quite get that. It only went 3 yards into the end zone.
Boy, it's just impressive how high it is, Chris.
Yes.
I mean, that is big time. That thing has some hang time too. The Bulldogs defense here, you got to stay engaged. You got to stay to your assignments. You can't allow Cornish to get to that edge. He's a speedy guy. The Bulldogs just, I think they kind of fell asleep on that one play, and boy, Lakeland made them pay.
So trips to the near side with Cornish in the backfield with Suko for the Hawks, who have 80 yards to cover in just over a minute. Back to pass. Pass is caught, and it's complete. And for some reason, the receiver turns it inside and goes up the field to the 35-yard line. Wow, talk about giving some cushion.
Boy, yeah.
That was like 15 yards.
Yeah, McCorkle didn't even react. He just kind of let the guy catch it in front of him, and then, not until Waddington was able to pick up 15 yards.
And then we've got whistles blowing before the snap can get off.
And I think it's going to be procedure against the Hawks here.
So 43 seconds. The Hawks let a lot of time go off by not calling the timeout on that.
What do we got here? I don't even see a flag on the field, actually.
I don't either. The officials just blew the whistle right before the snap. They say it's first down. Okay, well, we knew that because they started from the 20. They're at the 35.
Now you got to run the clock. Let's start the clock.
Oh, they're going to restart the clock. They want the clock to go back to 51 seconds. Of course, we are working with
56 seconds.
56 seconds, I guess.
Wow, that took longer than 12.
Pass out to the far side. This one is caught and out of bounds for 5 yards. Nice job by McCorkle that time to run Waddington out of bounds after a very short gain.
Boy, again, yeah, no urgency there. I mean, Hawks will take 5 yards and out of bounds all day long here, Chris. We got to kind of close down on this. Keep them from getting into field goal range. Maybe working the double move too.
Back to pass. Suko looking, throwing. It is incomplete. Bulldogs in their zone there. So down to 41 seconds now, and a 3rd down and 5 for the Lakeland Hawks.
Yeah, again, you get Suko outside of that pocket, and boy, his accuracy really starts to dwindle there. That again, he had a receiver open there about the 50-yard line, but he just throws it kind of low and just really not catchable.
So 3rd down, Suko drops, looks, throws, deep. He's got a man out there, but it's incomplete and out of bounds, and the Bulldogs then hammer the receiver as he's out of bounds.
That's a terrible play by McCorkle.
McCorkle's going to get a 15-yard penalty on what should have been a 4th down, and they would have had to punt it away.
Unbelievable. That's just terrible. You just cannot do that. The ball is 5 yards out of bounds, and he takes a freebie on the receiver down the sidelines, and you're going to give him 15 yards. They're going to get the ball at the Bulldogs 45 here with 35 seconds left. Just not smart football.
The personal foul against the Bulldogs is going to give him a 1st down. Wow.
Yeah, just senior, you got to know better, right? You got to know the situation. You've got to understand.
Well, he never looked for the ball at all. If he'd have seen the ball, he would have just let him go because the receiver was literally already out of bounds himself.
Yeah, boy, just a head scratcher.
24-7 Bulldogs. Suko back, looking, throwing. It's caught inside the 30 and knocked down at the 28-yard line. Lakeland will call a timeout. They've got one left with 24 seconds remaining. Are they not going to call timeout? They're going to wait for the chains to get set and keep going. Wow. Chains get set. They get ready to run the clock. And now the officials call timeout. Well, it should be 24, not 27. But it should be 24, yes. The clock is running.
Yeah, the Bulldogs are our own worst enemy here. Again, McCorkle giving them life here. Now the Hawks looking, looking to get in the end zone here on 1st down and 10. It's Bulldog 27.
Yeah. Lakeland trying to stay in the game. The Bulldogs have dominated, and a couple of penalties on the Bulldog
they gave him 28
defense.
now. That's just crazy.
That is crazy. Back to pass. Another pass to the outside. This one is dropped. So it's going to be 2nd down and 10 with 21 seconds.
Yeah, I think Lakeland just trying to get into field goal range here. Their kicker does have a pretty strong leg, Chris. We haven't seen on the kickoffs, but he does. He kicked like a 42-yarder against Moscow Bears a couple weeks ago.
Suko, Lakeland down to 1 timeout.
Bulldogs got to put some
Cornish
pressure on
right
here.
next to him. Suko back, looking, throwing, goes across the middle. He's got a man wide open, and Suko just overshoots him at the 5. That had 6 written all over it, and it's going to be 3rd and 10 now with 16 seconds left.
Boy, yeah, Barlow's got to do a better job opening up and not let him get to that inside, force him. But that receiver created some space very quickly, Chris, and just Suko just off the mark there. That was a sure touchdown.
So 3rd down.
Got to get some pressure.
Suko back to pass, throwing. Again, it's caught out of bounds this time. Inside the 15-yard line. So 10 seconds left.
They got maybe time for one more.
One shot at the end zone.
One shot at the end zone, Chris, and that should do it. Bulldogs defense really, again, you got to bring some pressure, I believe. They're looking to throw the ball to that outside to use that sideline.
Boy, a lot of confusion. Coaches on the field, players wandering all over the place. They're trying to put it to 11 seconds. They do.
Boy, a lot of clock issues. That's crazy.
Well, understandable. Back to pass, Suko. He's rolling, he's running for his life. He throws it into the end zone. It is incomplete, out of bounds with 3 seconds left. So Lakeland will have to try to settle for a field goal, but it'll be 3 bonus points that they should never have had if they're able to complete the field goal attempt.
No, absolutely. Boy, the Bulldogs defense just, McCorkle, that's just not a good play for the senior captain.
So getting ready to kick it away, Owen Forsman. 32-yard field goal. Timeout called by the Hawks. So using the final timeout in this half that was moving along quite smartly for a while. And then the last 2 minutes happened.
Boy, yeah, Lakeland's done a pretty good job of just moving the football down the field, taking what the Bulldogs give. They're using Waddington. Waddington's a big, tall target. Hey, 8, 9, 10, 11 yards, just quick outs, and really using the clock pretty well. Very well executed here by the Lakeland Hawks here late in this first half.
Columbia Bank halftime show is 1 play away, barring penalty, as Forsman is going to line up from the far side hash, so he's going to have to hook it back into the center. Of course, looks like he's a left-footed kicker, so that should be pretty easy for him. Snap is down, kick is up. It is off the upright and through just enough as the buzzer sounds. 24-10 Bulldogs at the half. We'll be back with your Columbia Bank halftime show after this on North Idaho's radio and Rock 103.
with one of our many delicious creations from our kitchen. All
people and resources to help you get there. services required to help build strong award for highest in customer Check them out online at columbiabank.com.
Oh, we thank Columbia Bank for sponsoring the halftime festivities here on North Idaho's radio on Rock 103. And while we were waiting for the final moments of the halftime show to unveil, Last Kuhn, as expected, drilled it into the end zone. So Lakeland starts on the 20. And, Jay, time for the Bulldog defense to reestablish the dominance the Bulldogs showed for almost the entire first half.
Yeah, the Lakeland, they got to feel pretty good about coming in and getting 3 points there in that minute and a half of offense they had there at the end in the first half. So they got a little momentum their way right now.
They hand it off on the end around to the far side, and a pretty nice little run. Going to go for 10, 11 yards, near first down yardage, I think. Let's see where they marked him out of bounds. I guess they step out at the 27-yard line. That time giving it to Thomas Calder around the end. So it'll be 2nd down and 3.
Yeah, just an end around there for the receiver coming in motion, and he's able to get outside behind that big left tackle of the Hawks.
Suko hands it off up the middle. 1st down and more. Couple of broken tackles, and then finally lassoed down, I guess you'd say, at the end by Wes Benefield, nearly taking the head off of the runner on that play, John Cornish.
Yeah, again, Cornish just pretty elusive back there, just kind of dancing around and keeping his feet moving, and he's able to pick up it looks like about 8 yards, 9 yards on that carry for a Hawk first down here.
Yeah, he got all the way out to the 36-yard line. So a 1st down for Lakeland. 2 runs, 16 yards. They throw it on the far side, and this one is absolutely blown up nicely on the far side, I believe.
Is that Zimmerman?
It's Zimmerman, yeah, who makes the tackle in the backfield for a loss of 2. So completed pass, loss of 2.
Yeah, good job. A little screen, little what do you call a screen, a bubble screen
Bubble
there
screen,
for,
wide
for,
receiver
for the
screen,
Hawks. Yeah. And, boy, the Bulldogs not fooled, and Zimmerman comes up and makes a fine tackle for that loss, the Bulldogs.
So 2nd and long. Suko, man in motion to the near side. Back to pass, straight back. They throw the screen again, this time to Waddington, and he's got a few yards out of it. Going to gain about 6 or 7, so 3rd down coming up and about 5 for the Hawks.
Yeah, Bulldogs bringing in Cox and Laybourne here, and here on this big 3rd down and about 5 is, again, going to that Waddington. That's his 6th catch of the night. Chris, really utilizing that big receiver in his frame.
Yeah, they put Waddington in a stack of 3 on the far side. One receiver near side for the Hawks. Hawks are going left to right. They hand it off around the outside. A couple of missed tackles, and it's going to be short of the 1st down, but almost to the 45. Interesting to see what Lakeland does here on what's going to be a 4th down and 2. Of course, Lakeland yet to stop the Bulldogs in the game.
Boy, that'd be crazy for them to go for it here in this situation. They're only down 2 scores. They give the Bulldogs this kind of short field. You're giving the Bulldogs that opportunity to really extend this lead.
Well, they appear to be going for it. So 4th and 2.
The Bulldogs really like to bring some pressure here.
Yeah. So Bulldogs stack it up, and then we're going to have a timeout as Coach Knowles wants that timeout. Early timeout here on a key 4th and 2. And, Jay, the Bulldogs had got Cornish down where they first made contact with him at about the line of scrimmage. It would have been a lot tougher decision for Lakeland than this 4th and 2 they've got here at the 44.
Oh, boy, nice stiff arm there by Cornish. Again, just going to that short side of the field, and he's able to just put his arm out there, and really, I believe it was Laybourne coming up to try to make that tackle, and he just kind of puts him to the ground there and able to scamper around corner and pick up 3 yards and put the Hawks in a short situation here, 4th and 2. But, boy, a risky play here by the Lakeland Hawks staff.
All right, let's see what Coach Knowles has dialed up on 4th down for the Hawks. So to the line, Lakeland. Suko. 2 backs in his backfield. Looks like they're trying to draw the Bulldogs off sides. Bulldogs having none of it so far. So there they go. They throw the pass. It is dropped.
Good
Incomplete. Great job by Kobe Barlow to knock it away from Waddington and
That's a huge
turn
play.
it over on downs. Would have been a 20-yard gain, and he had possession. But Barlow just stuck his hand in there and knocked it away from the receiver. That's the best play he's made all year, Jay.
Oh, boy, that's a great play by Kobe Barlow. He gives up the inside route against a much bigger Waddington, Chris, and he's able to come in there and get that left arm in between him and the ball. And as they go to the ground, that ball squirts out. Huge play for that Bulldog defense and Kobe Barlow.
Well, you talked about it earlier, and the Bulldogs' proficiency defensively on fourth down this year, and it showed its head there again. And like you talked about, Jay, so you go for it on fourth down, you don't get it. Now the Bulldogs are set up on your 44-yard line. See if Sandpoint's offense can take advantage. They keep it right up the middle. Pettit drives forward for about 5 yards. Second down and 5 at the 39.
Yeah, again, the Hawks just really keen on Cox. He's not going to beat him tonight, but boy, when you got Parker Pettit back there, he's going to make you pay, and he picks up nice 6 yards on that first down carry.
So second down, rain continuing to follow at Barlow Stadium, War Memorial Field. Bulldogs trying to become district champions. They throw the screen play to the outside. A nice tackle broken that time by Cody Newhart. A couple of nice blocks on the outside. Newhart's inside the 30, down to the 29. That's a 10-yard gain, and Newhart did a lot of that on his own.
Yeah, good blocking there again by Frank and Vandenberg that time just to allow Newhart some room. You know, you got to make one guy miss, and Newhart does that and is able to pick up a nice first down here for the Bulldogs with 9 minutes to go.
So Sandpoint, once again, nearing the red zone already here, looking to put some more points on the board. Of course, a point differential could come into their seeding positioning, so the Bulldogs will not take their foot off the throttle at pretty much any point tonight unless it becomes a laugher here in this second half.
Anything over 15 is a big spread here as far as the rankings go.
There's a pass to the outside. It's incomplete, trying to get it to Ari Vandenberg, and that pass high and wide. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Boy, he put a lot of heat on that one. Just, Lakeland Hawk defender kind of coming in there, closing in fast on that 5-yard out, and Parker does a good job of really he put only where Ari can catch it. Ball falls incomplete.
Bulldogs looking to the sideline for the signals. A much smaller signal board there on that one. So here we go. 3 wide, far side, 1 to the near side. Pettit claps, stops, throws, finds a receiver. It's a first down inside the 20, down to the 18. This time Vandenberg out of the slot makes the catch, moves the chains, and the Bulldogs will keep possession.
Yeah, again, going back to that little quick curl there, a 10-yard curl of Vandenberg, and he's wide open, just kind of sits down in front of the defender. Pretty good, well-thrown ball there by Pettit, and Vandenberg's able to pick up 2 yards and another Bulldog first down as they get inside the Lakeland's 20-yard line.
Sandpoint now out of their offense. 4 wides, equally spread on both sides of the field. Cox, I believe, hits the handoff. No, it's Pettit again keeping it. He's going to drive forward and be knocked down after a short gain of 2.
Yeah.
That darn pole gets in the way at about the 30-yard line on this side of the field.
Yeah, Waddington just doesn't buy the play fake there at the defensive end. And so, Pettit keeps it, but just unable to get around the edge. Only picks up about 1.5 yards. The Bulldogs here on 2nd down and a long 8.
Bulldogs looking to increase their 14-point lead. Led by as many as 17 in this one. Fake, Pettit up the middle. Makes a guy miss. Still on his feet. He's at the 10. He stutter steps at the 5. He helicopters his way to the 1. And it's going to be 1st and goal for the Bulldogs. And the Hawks have no answers for Parker Pettit tonight.
Boy, just calling his numbers. Again, the Hawks really keen on number 13, Cox. And, hey, what are you going to do? You're going to fake it to him and let Pettit kind of read the holes. And he does a good job of stutter stepping, using change of pace, and then gets right down to the 1-yard line.
Pettit up the middle, trying to get into the end zone, and in is Garrett Cox. Bulldogs make it a 30-10 game. Extra point coming up, and, we talked about it when Lakeland decided to go for it on 4th down. But at the way the Bulldog offense is rolling, I don't think it really matters if you start from the 44 or R44 or R5. Bulldogs nearly got a touchdown on a 95-yard drive earlier.
Yeah, you just don't want to give them that short field position. You really want to make the Bulldogs work for it here, Chris. And that's just Lakeland kind of gambles, and the Bulldogs make them pay, as they did last week against the Moscow Bears.
They sure did. So 31-10 Bulldogs. We'll take time out and be back after this on North Idaho's Radio and Rock 103. Here we go. Ensuing kickoff. Kuhn blasts this one through the end zone.
That one landed a 1 or 2 yard. That's his best one of the year, Chris.
It is.
One hop into the net. Boy, what a weapon.
Wow. 6 for 6 touchbacks. Kuhn today.
Boy, what a good start here for this Bulldogs defense, and great. Can't go back to what a great play by Kobe Barlow to set up this last touchdown for the Bulldogs, and boy, Lakeland really got their back against the wall now. As they're, you're going to look to see them maybe open it up a little bit more in the air here and look for some of their big play receivers in Waddington and Thomas.
So Suko on 1st down, fakes a handoff, spins, keeps it. Gets a couple of 3 yards over on the far side out to about the 23 or so. So it'll be 2nd down and 7. And the Bulldogs will let Suko spin and run for 2 or 3 yards from now until the end of time.
Boy, yeah, an interesting spin there. Takes his back completely away from the defense where he doesn't really be able to see. He tries to get to the edge and just runs out of real estate. And a good job of the Bulldogs just kind of squeezing that in towards the sideline.
So 2nd down and 7 now for the Hawks. Ball at the 23-yard line. Bulldogs leading it 30-10. Just dominating. Trying to pass it, now running. And then running out of room quickly once again is Suko.
Yeah, Benefield just comes up and does a great job of just finishing him off. Again, that time, great pressure by Hughes, and looked like Sherrill kind of really collapsed that pocket in the backfield and forcing Suko up the middle. And then once Benefield sees that, he comes in and he fires up there and stops him for just a minimal gain.
Yeah, he's tackling with impunity when he's coming for the quarterback or any ball carrier, that's for sure. So 3rd down, Hawks. Back to pass. Pass is incomplete, knocked away. Zimmerman and the intended receiver collide just as the ball arrives. It falls to the ground. Calder can't come up with it. And this time the Hawks are forced to punt it away.
Boy, God dang, that is just a great play by Zimmerman there.
Yep.
Again, just a quick hitter, and he sees he's not fooled on it. He comes up, and as the ball gets there, perfect timing by Zimmerman, breaks up the pass. Would have been for sure 1st down. Boy, I tell you what, this secondary has really come out and played here tonight.
They have had a great night. The Bulldog D and especially the guys on the outside tonight, Barlow and Zimmerman, have done an excellent job, the two of them. So Hawks to punt it away. Snap is back. Kick is a shanker off the side of the foot that goes out of bounds.
That's going to be about the 40.
Yeah,
44.
Should be about the 40-yard line. They'll say 45, but Bulldogs will pick it up there. So another short field for the Bulldogs, already leading it 31-10. on this district championship night. And this scoring update brought to you by Northwest Auto Body and Towing. 2 locations to serve you, Sandpoint and Ponderay, since 1976, providing quality repairs throughout North Idaho. And Jay, as it was explained to me earlier today, if the Bulldogs win by more than 15, they have a real chance to be the number 1 seed in the 4A state playoffs.
Well, that's excellent, Chris. That's the way I see it, too, and the strength of schedule that the Bulldogs have, too, it plays into their favor.
Okay, Bulldogs come in tight, go out of the wing T formation, fake the handoff. They hand it off to Frank up the middle. Fake to Cox, give it to Frank. He gets 2.
Boy, that time Cox, it looks like he had a little more room to run on that first handoff, Chris, to the left side. But, Frank's able to keep it, holds on the ball, picks up 2 yards. Bulldogs in no hurry right now. Just let that clock run. Look at the back judge. Take this play clock all the way down to the last second.
Bulldogs go 4 wide this time. Garrett Cox shifts, stands right next to Parker Pettit, just to his right. Pettit back to pass, looking, throwing. He's got a man. It's Frank. Frank's got a first down. He drives forward. He's going to be out of bounds at about the 34-yard line. That's about 9 yards, and the Bulldogs once again continue their seemingly inexorable march towards the Lakeland end zone, because if Max Frank had not dropped one in the end zone, the Bulldogs would have had a touchdown on every possession tonight.
Yeah, again, just a good job. Moving the chains, Chris. I really like to see what Theo Barr did. He switched it up this week and really just taking what the defense is going to give him and move the chains, keep the defense on the Hawks defense on the field.
So 1st and 10 Bulldogs. Pettit fakes the handoff, drops, looks, decides to run, runs to the left, 30, 20, knocked out of bounds inside the 15 at the 14. That's another 20 yards for Parker Pettit.
Boy, great protection there again by that offensive line, but the Hawks just really got back in pass coverage. He's looking downfield for a big play and well covered. But again, he keeps the ball. He sees it, able to make that first guy miss, Chris, as he gets kind of pressure laden, but he's able to escape it and pick up a big run and another first down for the Bulldogs.
Bulldogs again line up in their single wing. Hand it off to Cox, who stutter steps around a guy, gets to the outside. He's at the 15. He's at the 10. He's at the 5. He dives, but he's not going to get to the end zone. He's going to be knocked down at the 3.
Boy,
so 1st and goal Bulldogs, and they are just about to put the route on.
They are, boy, another good job off that right side behind Chapman and Smith. And boy, he gets some good blocking on the outside. I believe that was Frank. And he just cuts it out there and is able to get to the corner, Chris, and almost into the end zone. He's just knocked down just a little bit short of the goal line.
So 1st and goal Bulldogs, 2.5-yard line. Sandpoint winds up tight here on 1st down. Hand off to Cox, delay to Cox, and he spins off the back of a Hawk. And doesn't get much out of that one.
Yeah, I just don't like it. I like to spread it out a little bit, Chris. And once you get all 22 guys in that little box, there's really not a whole lot of room to move there on that goal line. As Lakeland goes heavy down on that heavy set, and
you're almost to the point on this formation where if you fake the handoff and slip the tight end out, he's going to be wide open in the end zone. Because the Bulldogs have run it out of this formation almost every play. This time Cox barrels in. Steps over a Hawk, and the Bulldogs make it a 37-10 lead here with 3 minutes and 19 seconds left in the 3rd quarter.
Boy, what can you say about the Bulldogs protecting their home turf, Chris? The Bulldogs have played really well at home, and with this lead that they got here late in the 3rd quarter, and this really going to bode well for them once this playoff run, making these teams travel up home, and boy, they've just played really well here at Memorial Field.
Yes, they have. Their only loss here was that last-second field goal loss to Coeur d'Alene as the extra point is blocked. So Sandpoint leads at 37-10. We'll be back with more Bulldog football here on North Idaho's radio and Rock 103. All right, here's Last Coon to try and boot it through the end zone one more time. This one is no problem. Lands about 3 yards from the back of the end zone. And Lakeland will start again on the 20-yard line, as they have done each time the Bulldogs have scored.
Absolutely. Boy, 7 of 7 on those kickoffs, and then, forcing the Lakeland Hawks to start at the 20-yard line, go drive the length of the field, and the Bulldogs in control, Chris, here up 27 here, late in the third quarter. Just, boy, Ryan Knowles, Coach Knowles, and Theo Bar got to be really happy with the way their team's performing tonight.
That's right. A couple of mistakes in that first half gave the Hawks a little bit of life going into the halftime, but the Bulldogs have come out here in the third quarter and really slammed the door. There's a run up the middle, and once again, there was some running room, but a slip and a fall after about an 8-yard gain for the running back for Lakeland, number 22, John Cornish.
Boy, yeah, I think he liked his matchup as he was full head of steam when he hit that hole. Nice hole opened up on the right side, and boy, one-on-one with the free safety Hartley, and he's looking to really make a move, but he loses his footing, a break for the Bulldogs.
So they say just a 5-yard gain after all of that, and Suko's back to pass. He's going deep. He's got a man out there. It is incomplete as McCorkle step for step with the receiver, number 88, Alden Waddington.
Yeah, again, great job there by McCorkle this time on Waddington, who seems to be their go-to guy, Chris. He stands about 6'6". He's got a big target. I know he's getting some looks at Montana. I know he's on a visit here just a couple weeks ago, but boy, the Bulldog defense really minimizing his big plays so far in this game.
So 3rd and 5 for Lakeland. Hawks throw it out to Waddington, who makes the catch, but might not get enough for the first down.
He's short.
Nice job by McCorkle to drag him down from behind, at least hold him up long enough for some help from the friends.
Oh
my
wow.
Gosh.
Holy moly.
I mean, that guy should just give it up, right? I mean, he should just put a gold jersey on.
Well, I think he gave him an extra yard and a half. Man, that is this guy.
That's the same one who called the phantom pass interference in the first half. There's a handoff up the middle to Cornish, and Cornish is more game hen than running back on that one, as he is knocked down at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Levi Ballison that time. No, actually, it looks like Blake Sherrill. It's good to have him back. He stands his ground and takes the full shot from Cornish, but drops him for no gain on the play.
So 2nd and 10. Yeah, no more kick returns for Blake Sherrill. There's another handoff, this time to Cornish on the outside. Cornish dragged down from behind in the backfield, but he's still on his feet somehow and almost gets back to the line of scrimmage. Boy, Wes Benefield shot out of a cannon, nearly got him 5 yards deep. It's now 3rd down and 11.
Boy, yeah, Cornish doing everything he can, and he's lucky to get outside of the grasp of Benefield, showing his strength and his elusiveness. But, boy, the Bulldogs stick with it, and everybody rallies the ball and throws him for a 1-yard loss.
So 3rd and long now for the Hawks. 29-yard line, ball sits. Pass out is incomplete, and it's going to be time once again to punt for the Hawks, whose offense just doesn't have enough muster to compete with the Bulldogs D tonight.
Well, they can, and a good job there by McCorkle, again, closing the gap. And, Suko just throws the ball a little too early for his intended receiver. Was it Thomas, I believe, on the outside, and just no opportunity for him to actually catch the ball. And the Bulldogs, again, forcing the Hawks to punt. And the Bulldogs looking to get some great field position here again on the next drive.
Looks like they've got Luke McCorkle back deep this time to receive the punt.
Interesting.
See if McCorkle can add some punt return activity to his big kick return that he had earlier in the game. Another terrible kick that's going to roll out of bounds at the Bulldog 47-yard line.
Waddington's, I believe he was all-league punter last year, Chris, but boy, these last 2 punts have just been shanks. And, he's doing a lot of duty out there. I mean, they're really calling his number quite a bit. Maybe that fatigue. He plays on the defensive end position, too, on a lot of these defensive series. You can see maybe he's just getting a little worn out here. Losing focus.
Yeah, losing focus, of course, for the Bulldogs. They lead it by 27. 37-10 as we near the end of the third quarter, in the final minute now here of the third quarter. And the Bulldogs are back on offense and have yet to be stopped tonight. Pettit hands it off to Cox. Cox up the middle. Cox to the 48, or is that Wimmer who carried it that time? No, it's number 18.
Sophomore Brewster.
Yeah. Cody Brewster goes for 5 up the middle.
You know, you're going to see a lot of this kid next year, Chris. I think he's the next back stepping up as Wimmer now has kind of settled into that linebacker role. You're going to see the young sophomore a lot next year. He's a shifty kid. He's tough. He runs hard, got some speed.
Wide receiver screen this time. Nice play for the Bulldogs. Going to be a first down inside the 45, down to the 42. That's another 6 yards. That's another Bulldog first down. Bulldogs probably setting their record for the season for a number of first downs.
Absolutely, I love it. I like the change up here, Chris. Is Theo Bars likes to go for those big hitters. As the third quarter ends here, the Bulldogs up 27. But love the way he's attacking this game tonight, just moving the chains.
37-10 Bulldogs after 3. Fourth quarter's next here on North Idaho's Radio and Rock 103. Making a real statement here as the district championship game is 3/4 of the way towards resting in the hands of the Sandpoint Bulldogs. Pettit. Bulldogs have trips on the far side, on the short side of the field, and they hand it this side, and a tackle from behind for a short gain. Looked like it was going to go a little more for Brewster, but a nice play coming from the inside to make a good tackle for Lakeland that time, number 54, Tommy Pearson.
Yeah, he does a good job. Actually, Brewster, again, the young back, he's trying to just string it out to the outside, but I think if he cuts it back up in the middle, he's going to find a little bit more space and be able to outrun that tackle from behind there.
So it's a gain of 3. It'll be 2nd and 7. Clock is rolling for the Bulldogs. Pettit waits, hands off, and this is going to be a tackle back to the original line of scrimmage.
Boy, not much blocking that time as the Hawks really get off that block and get right in the backfield in a hurry. Just nowhere for Brewster to run. Welcome to varsity football.
A third down, and they're going to say it's 3rd and 11 all the way back to the 43-yard line. So Pettit in the offense looking to keep this drive alive. Brewster shifts over to the right of Parker Pettit. Vandenberg and Frank on the near side. Looks like it's Kuhn, and another run for Parker Pettit up the middle. Another first down for Parker Pettit up the middle. That time it almost looked like a design draw, Jay.
Absolutely. That was a keeper for Parker all day long as he's looking to the right side to Vandenberg and Frank, but he just sees the big seam open up to the left side and picks up another first down. Boy, Parker Pettit's just really dial it up tonight.
Man, you said that we were going to get more Parker Pettit tonight than we've had in the weeks before, and you called that as Brewster is out and Wimmer is in at tailback. Bulldogs look like you're going to set up in their single wing situation again.
You got Wimmer into the game now.
Pettit fakes the handoff, rolls, somehow gets out of trouble and gets a couple of yards out of a play that probably should have been a loss of 5.
Boy, yeah, again, it's Theobar's not too excited. The blocking there on that right side just allowed the Hawks to really blow that play up in the backfield. But Pettit does a great job of being elusive and getting back to the line of scrimmage and picks up about 2 yards.
Clock continuing to roll. 9 minutes, 30 seconds left, fourth quarter. Bulldogs set up again tight. The old single wing, everybody within 6 yards of the line of scrimmage. There's a fumble, ball's loose, and Lakeland comes up with it. So the Bulldogs, the exchange between Pettit and Wimmer.
Wimmer never knew he was getting the ball.
Yeah, again, Wimmer just hasn't got a whole lot of touches this year. It's been really the Cox show, and that time just Pettit tries to give it to him, and I don't think he was expecting it, and the ball just falls to the floor. The first big break here for the Hawks here as they get the ball, as the Bulldogs again threaten to really put some more points on the board, and then they get the ball here at their own 30-yard line with just over 9 minutes to play here in this game.
37-10 Bulldogs. Hawks back on offense. Sandpoint's defense, which has done a great job tonight, save one play, maybe two. There's a shovel pass that's loose. That's an incomplete pass. Crowd thinks they've got the ball, but that was a shovel pass. It's incomplete. So it'll be 2nd down and 10.
Boy, that was disaster written all over. There's a couple Bulldogs in there, and that ball kind of bounces up there aimlessly in the air, Chris, and falls to the ground. But, boy, that's a risky play for the Hawks.
So 2nd and 10 now for Suko in the Lakeland offense. Cornish standing right next to Suko. 3 wides. Far side, now going deep, throwing it a long way. It is over the head of the intended receiver. Double coverage out there for the Bulldogs as they're trying to get it deep to Richie Thomas.
Yeah, again, Barlow kind of a step behind there, but a good job by Hartley at the free safety position. He gets over the top, and that ball just slightly overthrown, but the Bulldogs had that pretty well defended. 3rd down and 10 here. The Bulldogs again putting the Hawks in tough situations here.
Hawks 3rd and long. Sicko back to pass. Heaves it up the middle, and it is intercepted. Picked off in the middle, and it's going to be brought back to the 40-yard line. And another great play by the Bulldogs secondary. Zimmerman, for the 2nd straight week, comes up with a pick.
All right, for Jack. Good job there. Again, Suko had a wide-open receiver in Waddington to the outside, but he tries to force it down the middle and pretty well defended there as by Zimmerman, and then he's able to track the ball and intercept it. Trading turnovers here early here in this fourth quarter.
8:54 left. Bulldogs leading it 37-10. This scoring update brought to you by 7BTV, your authorized dish retailer, locally owned and operated, and ready to help you, a proud supporter of Bulldog football. And we'll have more football next week. It should be here at Barlow Stadium. Time and opponent to be determined. Handoff up the middle. Wimmer tries to get to the outside, gets stood up and knocked down. He's going to get a yard, maybe a yard and a half. And I like the fact that they are giving Garrett Cox a little break here. And I think Wimmer's.
No, I think it's somebody else. Yeah.
Oh, it's one of the Bulldogs. It looks like Laybourne. A little slow getting up.
That's not good there. It's Laybourne. He's kind of he's a heck of a lineman at that left guard spot. And, boy, that's a big loss if it's anything serious here. Maybe got rolled up on a little bit.
Well, they're looking at his calf or his ankle. Trainer out there with him. All the Bulldogs on a knee while he gets attended to.
He's in pain. Gosh, poor kid.
Getting attention. 8:35 remaining here. Bulldogs. Laybourne's going to try to get up. Now he's going to get a little assistance from his offensive lineman compadres. Laybourne not putting a lot of, can't really get any weight, and he's a big boy. No, he's just needing a lot of assistance to slowly work his way to the sideline.
That's not good. That's not a good look for the Bulldogs here.
No, it's not.
Going in that first round of the playoffs, losing their big left guard. He's had an excellent year this year.
So Bulldogs sending some more subs out. Coming into the game right now for the Bulldogs at line. Well, they got Ben Stockton coming back in. Must have been just over talking on the. I think he was helping off Laybourne to the sideline.
Is that Cameron Barrett, I believe, is checked in number 63 at that left guard situation spot there for Laybourne. Sophomore. They like him, man. They like how Cameron Barrett stacks up here. Now we got 67 coming in late too, Chris, at the right tackle. Austin Smith, he's the starter. He just came off the field. Just like, hey,
well, I think he as well was helping Laybourne off the field. Bulldogs, they're going to need a timeout here as all that was going on. So timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. Bulldogs leading at 37-10. This is Bulldog football on Rock 103 and North Idaho's radio.
Gain of 5, third down and 5.
About 3. So you've got 3rd and 5 for Parker Pettit and the Bulldog offense as the clock winds under 7 minutes and 30 seconds. And Sandpoint with 4 wides. They hand it off up again up the middle.
Cheryl fumbles.
And there's a fumble.
Yeah, again, you got the backups coming in here with just under 8 minutes to go, and you just can't have these kind of mistakes in this situation of the game. It looks like they're going to call them down before the ball's loose, but boy, that looks like it came out pretty quickly, Chris.
They are going to give it back to Lakeland, so the Bulldogs turn it over on their second straight possession with backups in there.
Just don't like it.
So Lakeland back on the field with their offense. Looks like most of the starters are still out there on the Bulldog defensive side. Four wides, one back. Hand off to Cornish. He looks for the outside. He cuts it up inside, and he doesn't get anything. He probably loses a half a yard. As Wes Benefield and the rest of the Bulldog defense was there to snuff him out. Ballison in there as well.
Yeah, again, just trying to get Cornish out to the outside. That play that worked so, on that 80-yarder there, in that second quarter, Chris. But, again, the Bulldogs doing a good job of stringing that out and keeping the quick back in check here. He hasn't done much here in the second half.
So second down and 10. Suko keeps it. Runs to the outside, gets a couple, then gets banged out of bounds. So it's going to be third down and about 7 for Lakeland, who based on those two play calls, is pretty much waving the white flag in this one, Jay.
Boy, yeah, the clock stops. He gets out of bounds, but now you're third down and a long 7 here for the Hawks. Look for them to throw the football. Probably looking towards Waddington's. Yeah, Waddington's here on the near side here, lined up against Barlow.
Now the Hawks need a timeout. They'll call it. We'll keep it here with Sandpoint leading at 37-10. And tell you that this scoring update is brought to you by Interstate Concrete, a proud sponsor of Bulldog football for more than 30 years. And we've got the Mountain West Bank post-game show coming your way. We'll have a chat with the victorious head coach tonight. I'm putting this one in the bank for the Bulldogs, Jay. Up 37-10 with 6:28 left.
6:28 left to go. I believe you're correct. The Bulldogs kind of settling in here, getting some other defenders. It looks like Max Franks checks in at the free safety spot. You got looks like you got Merrick Balk out there at the linebacker.
So 3rd and long. Bulldogs showing blitz. They bring a whole host. They throw a screen in front of it, and a great play call, and a pretty good job there by the Bulldogs to knock it down after only a 10-yard gain. It is a first down for Lakeland. The perfect play call for the defense the Bulldogs had lined up there.
Well, yeah, they brought the house there, and it was wide open, and pretty good job there by the Bulldog defender. Just kind of slow down corners. He had a lot of room to run, and he slows them down, allows I believe it was Benefield to kind of track back and track him down from behind.
So clock running now. It'll be under 6 minutes left in Lakeland's season when this ball is snapped. Suko rolls, gets away from a Bulldog, now finds another one and throws it to the nobody. And
he took a shot
from Mr. Benefield as he was trying to get that one away, and he's trying to collect his faculties on what will be 2nd down and 10, and that play just was wrong from the go.
He does a good job of making Ballison, who had him, looked like he had him stopped for nothing there in the backfield, and he's able to make him miss, but boy, just held onto that ball a little too long as Benefield. Once he gets out of the pocket, Benefield's got the green light to run forward, and he put a hit on him.
There's a handoff to the outside and some pretty good running to that side. Flag's down. And a first down. The Lakeland guy gets up and points first down. Maybe. I guess that's not a flag because they've set it down at the 29-yard line and rolled the clock.
Boy, it looked like a Bulldog was tackled outside to the outside there, Chris, and but nothing. That's a big run there for number 14 for the Hawks, Mason Burcham.
They hand it to Burcham again, same thing. This time Blake Sherrill's there to drag him down in the backfield. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
Yeah, again, going to that same play. That time Sherrill does a good job getting off his block and tackles Burcham right at the line of scrimmage. Clock going to roll inside 5 minutes here to play, Chris, and the Bulldogs pretty much got this one wrapped up. Looks like Suko's coming out, bringing in the junior quarterback, Kason Lautzenheiser.
So Lautzenheiser, number 18, to take over here on 2nd down. He keeps it, gets to the outside, and then for his trouble gets slammed to the ground.
Yeah, again, nothing happening there. It's was that Benefield again?
I think that was Dunkel on that one.
That was Dunkel on that play. Good job of just seeing the quarterback, reading it, and gets outside and stops him right there at the line of scrimmage. Lakeland here in a 3rd down and 10 situation.
Yep, 3rd and 10, backup quarterback. Bulldogs leading it by 27. 37-10 as we're under 4.5 minutes left in this one. Bulldogs put on a pretty impressive performance. There's a long throw downfield, incomplete, as the quarterback has hammered Lautzenheiser to the ground. It's going to be 4th down and 10 for the Hawks at the 30-yard line. They will obviously go for it here, trailing by 27.
Yeah, Jack Zimmerman, pretty good spot there, and he's just kind of staying right in front of that receiver. The receiver ends up running him over. with that happening, it slows down the receivers. He's unable to get out there to that flag pattern there as the ball falls incomplete. But Lautzenheiser under pressure again by that Bulldog defensive front.
So 4th down now. Last gasp time for the Hawks. Lautzenheiser back to pass, looking, throwing. He's got a man. It is incomplete, as this time Kobe Barlow once again really all over Alden Waddington.
Boy.
And
what a great night for Kobe Barlow.
It has been a great night for a couple of the Bulldog guys in the secondary. I think you think about it, McCorkle had 2 penalties. One of them shouldn't have been a penalty. And otherwise, he's done a pretty good job. And Barlow and Zimmerman have been draped to their guys all night long.
All night long, yeah, absolutely. Just doing a good job of just shutting down this Lakeland offense passing game pretty much throughout the game. They had the one drive there. The Bulldogs really playing prevent and allowing Waddington to really catch a lot of those balls along the sideline as they were able to kick a field goal there at the end of that first half, Chris. But that's been the only success in that passing game tonight for the Hawks.
Pettit keeps it for some reason. Should probably just go down. Stumbles forward to the 36. That's going to be a 7-yard gain for Parker Pettit.
Pettit comes out now.
Yeah, yes. So Hunter Garcia is going to come in. The Bulldog coaches looked at that, and when he decided we ran that on his own there, and he said, okay, that's it. That's enough, young man. Time to come enjoy the rest of the game from the sideline, along with most of the Bulldog starters at this point.
Yeah, the Bulldogs really in content now to run this clock all the way down.
Garcia hands it off right up the middle. Big run across the 45 and continuing on to about the 46 as he stood up there. Big run. I think that was Sherrill that time, wasn't it?
I can't quite see that.
Yeah, I think it was. Number 20, right?
Number 20,
Yep.
Shane Sherrill. Good job that time off that left side behind some good blocking, and he's able to get a fine hole there and pick up a Bulldog first down. Hey, what a great week for Bulldog sports, Chris. The freshman team on Thursday night, they take on Lakeland. They end up winning 40-0 in a pretty feisty game.
Yeah, contentious.
Yeah, game got called after about 4 minutes left in the fourth quarter with a couple of injections and just kind of got out of control. And then the JV team went down there on Thursday and came away with a big win too. 40-8 or something like that. So a good week here for the Bulldogs.
And here's Sherrill with another carry, going to get about 8. 2.5 left in this fourth quarter. Bulldogs comfortably in front, 37-10.
Yeah, excellent game here for the Bulldogs tonight. The boys soccer team, hats off to them. They come in an overtime victory today against Hillcrest. They come away with a 3-2 win. They find themselves in a state championship game tomorrow playing the Bishop Kelly Knights. And it's going to be on. You'll be able to stream that, I believe, on Idaho Sports.
Handoff this time to the outside, trying to find some running room and getting maybe a couple yards. So it's going to be 3rd and short for the Bulldogs. Once again, the sophomore that time, number 18, Cody Brewster.
Excellent job of running there, just showing it again some shiftiness, makes the guy miss, and is able to, really turn. It looked like it was going to be a loss into a positive. The Bulldogs now with a 3rd and 1 here. Just about a minute and a half to play in this game. The Bulldogs. Boy, a great night and a big win here.
Garcia keeps it. He's got a first down. He's at the 40. He's at the 30. He's still on his feet. He spins to the 26-yard line.
Yeah, Hunter Garcia, he's a heck of a football player. I've watched the kid since he was a youngster, and, he's tough. He's a great defender. He's kind of that leader of that sophomore group, and it's good to see him get some time, and that was a great run that time as he fakes a handoff to Brewster and keeps it off that right side and picks up a big first down. Now the Bulldogs are going to bring Parker Pettit back in to take the knee and call it a game.
That's right. Bulldogs come in tight. Pettit will take it, and he will do the kneel when it's time. A couple of kneels, and the Bulldogs, they're going to win this one big, 37-10. What a second half the Bulldogs put on. That third quarter was about as dominant as we've seen the Bulldogs all year long on both sides of the football. So one more snap, then the victory bell will be engaged. We thank Barry Burke, our stat man tonight, doing a fine job once again. And there it is, final snap. Bulldogs take it 37-10. Your Mountain West Bank postgame show on the way.
Seem a little bit more comfortable.